Our next guest, Limor Weinstein, is a licensed psychotherapist and an eating disorder specialist practicing in New York City. As a father myself, I am very happy to welcome her to the show to share some simple tips on how to have positive relationships with your teens and children. Welcome, Limor.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this is such a powerful topic and such an important topic for our times. How are teenagers dealing with today's current events?
Right. Teenagers are experiencing a lot of depression, anxiety, a lot of stress at school, at social situations, and parents are very, very overwhelmed.
And do you think that the pandemic has increased the stress on the teenagers and our children?
Absolutely, absolutely. So many teens are so much more stressed. Isolation didn't help at all, and they are feeling a lot of negative emotions. And
how could we take those negative emotions and neutralize them?
right. So as parents, the first and most important thing that you want to do is to create a safe and trusting environment, which means that you have to kind of put yourself aside and practice active listening, which is a big challenge for a lot of parents.
Especially because parents are just so busy now trying to juggle so much of work, home life, and trying to catch up. So that's a great tip, is to pay attention and
Right.
to actually have that one-on-one. What about social media? What kind of role is that having on our children, and what can we do?
Yeah, so that plays a very big role because teens are addicted to social media. They're constantly looking and they're seeing a lot of negative messages. That creates a lot of comparison, a lot of stress, a lot of, keeping up with the Joneses kind of, mentality. And it's very difficult for teens and for parents.
Personally, is there anything you'd like to share that led you in this direction, and how amazing it is that you have the ability to help so many families? But was there anything personally in your life that kind of brought you here?
Yes, so I almost died from anorexia when I was 14, and I was sick from 13 to 24 with bulimia, anorexia, and experienced a lot of negative feelings. And I think that, helping teenagers and their families is a great passion of mine, and it's just, a great privilege to work with them.
3 tips for parents that they could take from this show right here and start using it today to help their teenagers and children out. Could you come up with just 3 tips?
Yes. So the first thing, as I said, is the active listening and no judgment. And it's very difficult, but parents can do that and create an open and honest environment. The second thing is to learn how to validate your child. And for example, if your child is telling you that they're feeling stress or they had a bad day, instead of trying to fix the situation, what you want to do is you want to listen and say something like, it makes sense that you would feel this because. So parents can definitely learn how to validate, and it's important. And the last thing that parents can do is really go down to the teen level and be very curious about their experiences. So for example, they can ask about books that they're reading, music that they're listening, anything that can kind of create an open dialogue and, have the teen connect to the parent in a different way.
That is amazing tips, great information. Where can my viewers learn more?
So they can go to bespokewellnesspartners.com or they can call 917-670-9780.
Make sure you write that down. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back.